Live, local, late breaking. This is NewsWatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 a.m. on February 25th. Welcome to NewsWatch 12 this morning. I'm Damon Alvarado. Let's go ahead and check back in with Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress this morning with a look at what we're seeing out there.
Yeah, definitely is much calmer than what we were dealing with yesterday, although we still have some gusty winds into our higher elevations. But Mount Shasta this morning, absolutely stunning. Right now, 33 degrees. It is a rather chilly, so some clear skies as we head into Siskiyou County. But other areas, as we're heading into southern Oregon, we are still seeing light showers along the passes and some lighter showers as we're heading over towards the coast and into Josephine County. They will dwindle out as we're heading through this morning. Maybe just a light sprinkle as we do head over into Jackson County, but besides that, it will be dry for our Tuesday. Checking with the roads this morning, definitely some wintry conditions along the passes. Snow levels pretty close to about 3,500 feet. So definitely plan for some extra time if you are heading through, especially if you're going through along 140 to 97 this morning. Current temperatures 35 into Klamath Falls, 36 into Montague, 40 for Medford, along the coast, 49 for Brookings. And as we're heading throughout our day, we can expect some more mild temperatures. As we head into our Wednesday as well, we'll continue to be dry and temperatures just continue to climb as we're heading through the end of the week into the Rogue Valley, maybe making it up into the upper 60s by the time we're heading into Friday. I'll have a closer look at what you can expect through the rest of the week coming up in our next forecast.
Due to yesterday's wind conditions, multiple power lines were knocked down due to falling trees. In Cave Junction, one large tree fell into a home and trapped a resident inside. According to the Illinois Valley Fire District, the resident was freed and the Red Cross was notified and is helping that resident provide shelter assistance. But right now, we're taking a live look out at these power outages. Over 800 residents are currently without power. That's an improvement from the 1,000 we saw earlier. A majority of those residents without power are in Josephine County. Pacific Power says crews are working quickly as possible to restore power to everyone. Siskiyou County ratified an emergency proclamation due to this month's storm. Many highways throughout the county have been impacted by landslides and rock falls. And we talked to Siskiyou County's Emergency Services Director about the damage. He says they are seeing many damaged roads, which is putting a strain on the county's resources. Siskiyou OEM is worried about the Scott and Shasta rivers flooding, especially when all that snow melts.
Paying attention when you're driving, this hot, cold cycle, it's pushing off a lot of rocks off the sides. And those mountain roads, you can come around the corner and there will be a cardboard box size rock in the middle of the road.
The emergency proclamation lets the county pull in extra resources. Crews are seeing a lot of damage to the public roads and some drainage canals in Montague got breached. They're also watching the Scott River closely because it is at flood stage. OEM says they are now assessing the costs of damages from this month's storm. All 8 RN bargaining units with the Oregon's Nurses Association have voted to ratify the tentative agreement with Providence Hospitals. This vote puts an end to the 46-day long strike, one of the longest strikes in Oregon's history. 94% of ONA nurses voted on this deal, which includes a pay raise of at least 16% for some nurses, with others reaching as high as 42%. The contract also promises retroactive pay for those whose contracts expired in December. A closer look at what this deal means for ONA nurses and Providence hospitals can be found on our website, kdrv.com. Anything that gets a large amount of public attention is obviously subject to more scrutiny. Unions and strikes are no exception. Now, we did speak with a labor expert at the University of Oregon regarding the issue. He says the first thing experts say you should know is that no business organizes without a reason.
You know, a lot of times I think folks think that unions just come in and say, okay, we're going to unionize this shop. It never works like that. It would never, it has to come from the support of the workers.
Union officials say that's why the threshold to form a union is 50%. They say it's better to see more people sign up than that. Gordon Lafer with the University of Oregon Labor Education and Research Center says occasionally you'll see some sentiment that strikes are selfish or that the workers are making unreasonable demands and should just be grateful for having a job. He says just like forming a union, strikes require a vote. And without enough support from within the union, those strikes fail. Employees may not get paid quite as much while they're on strike, and Lafer says the fact that they're willing to make those sacrifices should really tell you something.
I mean, everybody would be happy to be rich, but like what most people are fighting for is not to be rich, but is to be secure. Like you have a job, you have health insurance, you're not worried about, being homeless when you're old. You can help your kids, launch in life when they finish high school. And that's gotten harder and harder for a lot of people.
There's one more thing to talk about here, the growing trend of strikes. In the years during and since the pandemic, we've seen everything get more expensive due to inflation. But Professor Lafer says that's only part of the picture. Working conditions have been on the list of demands for many striking workers, like class sizes for teachers and staffing levels for health workers. He believes the return from pandemic-era practices escalated a lot of those frustrations.
When they were called on to sacrifice, they really sacrificed, and then expect that then when times are better that they'll share in the profits or something. And I think there's certainly like in healthcare now, it seems to me like there's a level of anger that in some ways has been building over decades, but was really exacerbated by COVID.
Professor Lafer also noted a growing trend for young people to organize at places like fast food restaurants and Starbucks. Jobs that people used to only stay at for a few months at most.
The professor says as the economy squeezes young people, they are staying at these jobs a lot longer, and those jobs are becoming more important to them than ever before. One man is still in the Jackson County Jail after the Medford Police Department tracked him and another suspect using flock technology. Just before midnight on Saturday, officers responded to the call where bullets impacted a home, but no one was injured. Using automatic license plate readers and the flock camera system, officers flagged the vehicle around 2:30 p.m. the next day. The 24-year-old driver was arrested, as well as a 17-year-old who was a passenger in a second vehicle traveling with the first. Both are now facing charges of unlawful use of a weapon, reckless endangering, and attempted assault. A new warrant is out for the arrest of 61-year-old Arthur Derone of Central Point in connection to a fatal pedestrian crash. The crash happened in June 2024 just outside of Ashland on South Valley View Road. Derone is accused of being high on marijuana when he hit and killed 50-year-old Mark David Langill of New Mexico. He's charged with first and second degree manslaughter, DUI, animal abuse, reckless driving, and more. A structure fire in Dunsmuir took the life of one person. Dunsmuir Fire Department, along with other fire departments, responded to the structure fire in the Rose Avenue area. DFD said any additional information about the incident will be released by the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office. Recreational sports are bringing quite the economic impact here in Medford. Between Rogax and Lithia Driveway Fields, over $20 million has been generated for the local economy in 2024. 43 major events were hosted in Rogax's first year. 2024 was a record-breaking year for Lithia Driveway Fields, with some of the highlights including youth baseball, softball, and the Cascade Collegiate Conference Soccer Championships. The City of Klamath Falls says the deadline for the Economic Development Grant has been extended. This funding helps support economic development, business improvement, and community growth in Klamath Falls. Applications will be accepted until March 14th of this year. And this morning, you build your legacy into Grants Pass with the city's Buy a Brick campaign. For $250, you can buy a brick that will be laid at the Owl Plaza. The brick will have a plaque which can have 3 lines of text engraved. The bricks will become a part of the patio base when it is reconstructed near 5th and 8th Street. You can find more information on how you can get your bricks. You can visit our website, ktrv.com. Checking in with gas prices around the region, the statewide average is $3.66 according to Gas Buddy. According to AAA, Jackson and Josephine County has the most expensive average gas prices in the region at $4. And Klamath County has the cheapest gas at $3.67. However, in California, Siskiyou County currently sits at $5 a gallon. And on Thursday, the Siskiyou County Sheriff's Office is teaming up with the Weed Police Department for their first Coffee with a Cop event of the year. Officers from both departments will be at the Starbucks in Weed to say hello, answer your questions, and enjoy your company.
And this morning, shower activity is mainly along the Cascades. And as we're heading over a bit towards the coast, some very light showers. Before today, we can expect bright skies and near normal high temperatures, so a little bit cooler than yesterday. But this morning, we are waking up with some windy conditions into our higher elevations, but that'll settle down throughout the day, and then we're buckling in for a very calm rest of the week with some warmer temperatures on the way, making it up into the upper 60s in the Rogue Valley by Friday. We'll take a closer look at what we can expect for the rest of the week coming up in our next forecast.